I partnered with an influencer and made 2 videos that got almost 600,000 views. Let me tell you how I did it. A couple of weeks ago, somebody commented on my Instagram reel. Me not having a very big Instagram account didn't check the comments until about a week ago, when I realized a big influencer commented. But first, let me talk about the video I made. I had wanted to learn how to make a Pixar car mouth for a while, but I didn't find any tutorials. So I went about trying to figure out how to do it on my own. Eventually, I found a way to do it. It still looks cartoonish, but I was pretty happy with the result. I posted a reel with this effect, and I also made a tutorial, so go check that out. But anyways, I posted that reel a little over a month and a half ago. It didn't do very well, so I kind of gave up checking on it, and my account entirely. Until about 2 weeks ago, when I was learning C++ and got bored, so I checked the account. In the notifications I saw a comment. It said, "Hey bro, could you do that with my cars? I would love to share your talent with my audience. Let's work on some cool projects together." I saw the account that posted it was verified, so for some reason I automatically thought that it was a scam, which are quite common on Instagram. I checked out the profile and it seemed legit though. Then I watched a couple of his reels and I realized I had actually seen these videos on my feed. The video in particular that I remember is of him changing his C7 Corvette's lights to Lamborghini lights. I thought there's no way this guy wants me to make an edit for him. So I replied to his comment and DM'd him. And I remember this moment very vividly when I was going for a walk, listening to music, and Siri alerted me that Nate Ryder's garage had messaged me. At that moment, I was actually freaking out. I was excited, but I was also nervous about whether the videos he'd send me were going to be too hard to track or if I'd even be able to edit them at all. I replied that I'd do it even before really thinking or taking a good look at the videos he sent me. I was relieved when the videos he sent me were pretty easy to do and there wasn't much movement into the camera. The videos he sent me, I believe he posted a while ago, but he wanted an update with the eyes, so I immediately got to work. I started with the first video he sent me because it looked the easiest, and I wanted to ease my way into editing. The first thing I did was start tracking the windshield of the Corvette. I used one layer to track all the shots of the Corvette, but I realized to make the planar surface the right perspective, I had to duplicate the layer a couple of times and change the planar for each individual shot of the Corvette. I made sure to give them descriptive names so that I knew which was which. After I finished tracking, I created a new solid layer and duplicated the original footage to become a track map. I sent the track data to the solid layer and then tracked the solid to the mask I had created from the track map. I pre-composed the solid layer and then started editing it as I usually do when making car eyes. I made a full tutorial on this process, so go watch that if you want to make your own Pixar car edit. Once I was happy with how everything looked, I started to animate the eyes. But no matter what I did, I could not adjust the masks. I was getting frustrated, but eventually I realized it was a really stupid mistake, and I forgot to parent the shadow masks to the eyelids. I went through this process for the rest of the shots of the Corvette. It was very monotonous, but the process was easy enough. The hardest thing to do was convey the car's emotion through their eye expressions. I basically said to myself whatever the cars said, and I tried to think of the facial expressions I made. This worked well and I was really happy with the result. Once I finished all the shots of the Corvette, I started working on the Shelby. I started tracking it, making sure to create 6 different layers from the start. Then I started creating the eyes for the first 2 shots. It looked good, but when I started working on the 3rd shot, the mask was not working properly, and there were green streaks on the hood of the car. I could not for the life of me figure out what was wrong with my track, so I decided to delete everything I had created for the Shelby and go to sleep. The next day, I forgot to start recording my screen, so unfortunately, I have no footage. But basically what I did is I started retracking the Shelby, and did it the exact same way I had done the Corvette. I started with one layer, which I tracked to the whole video, and then I duplicated it 6 times. This worked better, and after that everything went smoothly and I finished the video later that day. I loved the result and was especially happy with both the cars' facial expressions. I sent Nate the video and he was also happy with it. I then tried adding mouths to the cars, but it looked really cartoonish and out of place with their realistic eyes. We decided that it looked better with just the eyes, so I got to work on the next video. The second video was definitely harder to track, but there were less shots to work on. The opening shot of the Corvette rolling in was the hardest. I had to track the windshield 4 separate times so that the planar surface would be the right perspective for each angle respectively. It was pretty difficult to get the timing worked out, and the biggest challenge was getting the eyes to be the right shape and size for each edit. It looked okay, but I realized that the amount of time for each edit was short enough to be able to cover the different tracks by having the car blink. This looked a lot better and the transitions were smooth. After animating the first shot, I had to work on the Shelby. Now this shot looked really easy and simple, but it was actually a pain to track. Something about the tilt of the camera was just throwing off Mocha. After many hours and After Effects crashing a bunch of times, I figured out a way to track it effectively. I first tracked the windshield and didn't worry about the perspective at all. I then transferred the track to a new bright green solid and pre-composed the whole thing. Then I hopped back into Mocha and tracked the Shelby again, this time with the windshield being a bright green. It did the trick, and to be honest, I was surprised it worked. It tracked the windshield perfectly and the planar surface captured the right perspective. From there, I just animated the eyes. The last shot was of the Corvette, and this shot was really easy, so I'm not going to talk too much about it. I just did my usual thing. I finished up the video, and I have to say, this one might be my favorite. I loved when the cars dapped each other up. It looked really cool, and it reminded me of that one scene from Cars 2.
You ready to have some serious fun? Well, actually, I've got something to show you first.
I sent out both the videos, and the following Sunday the second video got posted, and on the Wednesday the first video was posted. Nate Ryder's Garage posted to all his socials, and I'm not gonna lie, I didn't realize he had a TikTok account. I also didn't know that he had 1.5 million followers on TikTok. I was excited to see how the videos performed, especially because I don't have a big following. I wanted to see what other people thought of my work. The videos did well. As of recording, on TikTok alone, the Dap Up video has 509,000 views, 87,000 likes, 202 comments, 7,000 saves, and 2,000 shares. On Instagram, it has 34,000 views, 4,000 likes, 17 comments, and 145 shares. The other video we made has 63,000 views, 10,000 likes, 24 comments, 610 saves, and 100 shares, all on TikTok alone. On Instagram, it has 33,000 views, 3.6 thousand likes, 22 comments, and 150 shares. I'm super happy with how both these videos performed. It's beyond my expectations, and I'm really grateful to have had this opportunity. Nate was such a cool guy to work with, and he was very supportive of my work. I definitely recommend you guys to go check out his channel because he posts really great content. We want to have more collabs in the future, so comment down below if you have any ideas of what we should create. Check out my Instagram for more cool reels, and I also want to start posting more often on YouTube, so make sure to subscribe so you don't miss anything. Let me know in the comments if there's anything you want to see, and don't forget to like up the video. It really helps the channel. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.